Hello guys, this is Julian from the Binary Lab and the Forex Lab. So today I'm doing this video in my wife's dressing area because she's talking with her friends out there. And why do I have the camera on the rear facing rather than the front facing? Well, my front facing camera conked out. Not exactly conked out, but it's been giving me problems for some time. I use a Huawei P10, and in order for me to get my front camera working, ever since the most recent software update, I urge you guys do not get the latest software update because it's terrible. So since the two previous updates of the software, my front camera has been having problems, and if I want to make the front camera work, I have to clear the cache and restart the phone, and also like wipe the cache as well. So delete app cache and reboot into the system mode and reboot and then kind of clear the cache to make it work. But anyway, today I'm here to talk about how to test the Forex EA. As you guys know, I built my own Forex EAs. Uh, like I will have some advice for you if you want to make your EA a solid one, or you have a good experience in running EA. So not everyone is building your own EA, but many of you actually buy or you receive EAs or you download EAs and then you want to run it on your live account. Running it directly on your live account is a mistake that you should never do. So what I personally do and what I always do is I have the 2.5 months rule. Whenever I get an EA, I'll run it for at least 2.5 months. And within 2.5 months, why 2.5 months? Because 2.5 months is a very good sample of time. It can give you a good taste of what the markets have to offer and what kind of surprises the economy and the world has to give you in your trading. So some of these surprises may not be so nice, but you will see. Okay? So whenever you get some nasty surprise, for instance, your drawdown goes a bit higher than what you expected. High for different people can mean different things. High for some people can be 15%. For some people it can be 30%. For some people high can be 8%, can be 5%. Everyone's risk profile is different. And once you find that the EA is hitting your risk profile, okay, please take some opportunity to check if what is the market circumstances right now? Under what circumstances is it hitting that risk profile? Is it like some elections going on? Is there like some Trump speech? Is there is China kicking up a fuss about something? What exactly is going on? So when you look into the economics, if you see like something happening that you didn't expect it to go outside of your budgeted risk amount, then go into your you go into like investing.com, go into FX Street, go to Yahoo Finance, go read about what's happening out there. And maybe, like you say, okay, yeah, sure, okay, it may have exceeded my budget, but this is an exceptional situation, so that's fine. But if that exceptional situation is making the floating loss go too high, then you obviously need to tweak your settings. When you tweak your settings, make it run for at least 2 weeks. This is my personal rule. Within 2 weeks, if I find that it's still not okay, I let it run for another 2 weeks, and another 2 weeks, and another 2 weeks. And after I'm happy with it, another 2.5 months. So this is how I, I kind of ensure that, of course, it will not be perfect. There will always be different things. The market is always ever evolving, and there will be new problems. There will always be new problems. But like if it can work 2.5 months and then two weeks upon 2 weeks upon 2 weeks, then you're generally quite okay. And there are small problems that come up, you can manage them. Now the next thing I want to advise you is very, very important. Even after you start your live account, so you generally start your live account on the EA that you receive. Either maybe like you get it from, just a moment, I check my battery. Is it charging? Yeah, it is. um, okay, yeah, that's fine. So when you are happy with the results on your demo account, you let it run for 2.5 months, no problem. Maybe you fixed it a couple of times, and after like 2 week cycles, and it's okay, all right. Didn't have to tweak it anymore. You, for 2 weeks, go around without tweaking. after a set of, let's say you did 3 weeks, you found a problem, then you let it run for the full 2.5 months, and then you extend. That's how I do it. And then never ever stop your demo account. Always keep it running, because there will be trades, especially for those of you running like martingale or hedging EAs. There will always be baskets of trades um, that sometimes it takes time to accumulate. So, for instance, sometimes you won't be seeing the drama. You won't be seeing drama until later part. And when the drama starts getting in, okay, this is very important, because like then you can know, um, if you didn't touch the settings, you know, how will the EA handle? Will can it hand like uh, sometimes when we see it's a live account, and then we panic, we think that okay, we need to close it, we need to do some intervention. But if it's a demo, just let it run. If the whole thing messes up, so be it. Okay, if it can turn around by itself, great. If it cannot, then you know that maybe this is not for you. The settings need a change. But you need to keep it constantly running, because then you know what to expect. If you do not keep it constantly running, uh, then when you face a live situation, you don't know and you cannot speak with confidence or think with confidence on what you should do. Now here's the thing: if the demo account is running fine, and then you never had problems with it after a period of time, a couple of months. So let's say you've been demoing for maybe 2.5 months or so, and then your live account's already running. Okay, your live account's been fine for 2.5 months. Now, 2.5 months into your live account, what you should start doing with your demo accounts to increase the trade sizes. Increase your starting lot size, just basically trying to amplify everything. See how it manages. This way you can see um, what are the potential red flag problems. Are you ready for additional lot size and additional gains, or is it not? Okay, because if it's ready for scaling, then scale. If it's not ready for scaling in that sense, if you find that, hey, um, like in this way it is fine, but like if I try to raise it by one notch, it can't, then I raise it down, then I bring it down. So sometimes I even have multiple demo accounts to run it in normal, low, and high leverage, just so I can compare how the differences and how it behaves. Because where hedging is concerned, sometimes, and for those of you who are in my Fire Your Boss V2, you look in your trade history, you see that not all the pairs have the same starting lot size. Over time, I realized that certain pairs should not have, start at a certain amount. They should start either higher or lower. It takes time to find out these things, and you will too. So you will find out over time that okay, certain pairs that can go higher, certain pairs that can go lower. It's not a one size fits all. This is some of the things that you find out. And like I said, if you find that scaling up does not work, uh, scaling down could be one thing, but did you also look at the option of maybe doing a hybrid? So right now I have two different strategies running, on my PAM accounts with FX Primus and FXTM. And you can find out more information of this by clicking the link in the video description. Um, but why I'm having hybrid is because uh, I'm noticing situations that the EA, the hedging EA, is falling short, and is not taking full use of the price action. So I'm having a mixture of like trades that will expire within uh, hours, and no, generally days. Okay, days and a week plus. And then I also have different strategy that the trades last between minutes and hours. Okay, so I find that it's very important to hybrid and balance the thing, so that way we have a very good sample of the market. And speaking of which, um, in terms of hedging and martingales, one thing that I'm currently testing, which I will actually want to encourage you to test as well, you can test out. Have you tried doing? Okay, what I'm doing right now. just let me run you through the idea. Instead of using martingale, I'm trying to know martingale, but making the entries tighter and having more entries. So let me show you an example, okay? Certain pair, maybe like Euro GBP. Let's say if originally my pip stat was like 35 and my multiplier was like 1.7, and then my take profit calculation was, let's say, like 19, for instance. So what I could experiment with is that I could instead have like instead of 35 pip stat, how about a 15 pip stat, no martingale. And instead of just, like capping it at like 8 levels, let it run to like, 24 levels. That's an idea that I'm running right now. I'm gonna also, like, and thinking of strategically letting the entries take place. Because obviously, if we're looking at market turnarounds, uh, then I want to start maybe at RSI 85 and above. The trades will start taking place, setting up for sells. Okay? And let's say below RSI 15, the buys will start taking place. You know, at intervals of 15 until until the turnaround is taking place and nothing. I'm just trying. This is different idea. So I'll let you guys know the results. Uh, I also do plan on I when I run strategies, I usually run them on separate accounts, and only if I find that one strategy can add value to another strategy, then I combine them onto the same PAM account. So that way, the people who follow my trades can have the best of not just both worlds, but a few worlds. Because like I said, I have new concepts, and then what I also do is that I look at in terms of equity. When I do my demo accounts, like I said, I'm very serious about demo account. I have different VPS accounts. Some are dedicated for my live account, some are dedicated for my demo accounts. And obviously some of the accounts have both live and demos on them. Um, and I limit myself to no more than 4 installations of MT4 per VPS account. Um, And then the next thing that I said, like, when I set these demo accounts, I set them to a starting balance that's equal. So if it's going to be 5,000, all of them are 5,000. If it's 10,000, all of them are 10,000. The leverage is going to be the same for all of them. And the leverage has to be the same as the starting live account that I'm going to use. Let's say if my starting live account is going to be 10K, all is going to be 10K. And if the leverage is going to be 1 to 500, all of them are going to be 1 to 500. So that's how I set it up. And then finally, on a maybe after about 2 months, 3 months, I'll look at the performance of all these accounts, and I will see that how are they performing. Month by month, there's gonna be one that is better and one that is worse. Which one is averagely good? Which one is like medium? And then there's gonna be a low performer. There's gonna be the high performer. Can we scale the low performer? Is the risk level worth scaling? And the one that's performing well, like can we run it on different pairs? And at the end of the day, if we find that um, they kind of cover up really well, and we find that at the end of the day, all we want to do is just to try to split out our risk between a few different strategies, because maybe these different strategies can be working different ways. One could be martingale, one could be no martingale, one could be scalping whatsoever. I look at the margin requirement, and I want to take constantly notes on what is the maximum uh, use margin on a daily basis, and I want to see can they coexist. Because if one is using a lot of margin, then it cannot. Usually, if it's a fixed trade size, in order to make decent money, let's say 2% per trade, these ones the margin usage can be very high. So I may not recommend that, because if I do that on the same account, everything else has to be smaller. So I want to see how the trades can coexist. Can it coexist in the first place? And then over time, I try to tweak the proportioning of different strategies on the same master account. So these are the different ways that I try to strategize. And at the same time, like, why do I even put them on the same account? You might be wondering. Well, so that the people invest following my strategies can have the best of a few different worlds. But if you are doing this on your own, what you can do is that many different brokers allow you to have multiple trade accounts without opening again and again. So you only submit your data once, you submit your verification data once, and you just can open multiple different accounts, and they can be different settings even. One can be a swap free, 1 to 1000 leverage, the other one can be 1 to 500 with a bonus, and something else can be what Islamic account if you're Muslim, so you can you request like Islamic account, whatever. You can have a few different account types, and uh, okay, so when you see that different strategy is working better, some was working drastically better than the other one, you can actually allocate your money differently between the accounts. And then finally, you can have an existing wallet, okay, which is that if you don't want to transfer out your profit, or let's say if there's a transaction fee to withdraw your profit and it's not worthwhile, then you can accumulate the profit like weekly. You're going to take X amount, like 50% of your profit to put over here, or 70% of your profit to put over here, so that this way you can build back an account like a spare rainy day thing in case anything goes on. You can top into an account that needs a boost, let's say to get over some tough times, or at the same time, if you find that certain strategy is worth scaling, you can take money from here to pump it in over there. If you find that if your original goal was to just oh, I want to break even fast, so I save money somewhere. But let's say you find that, oh, I trust the strategy enough, I know it, understand it enough, I've seen the best and worst times, I know how it performs, I'm ready to commit more to this strategy. And the way you can shuffle it in accounts. So I hope I've given you many useful, good tips on how to test out your EAs, and even after you start running them live, how you can continue to test and tweak. Once again, for those of you who came on late, I'm doing this video with the rear facing camera because my front facing camera is conked out, and I don't feel uh, like force closing the app, deleting the cache, and rebooting my phone into safe mode to do a reset. It's time consuming, so I just did like this, and my wife's over there chatting with her friends, so I'm just doing this in the the cloakroom, so to speak. All right, yeah, bye for now. Or if you have any questions, add me on face. No, don't add me on Facebook. I have too many friend requests. But send me a message to my personal Facebook. I'll reply you there, with a voice message. Make sure that, and you know, the real me will use a lot of voice message because voice message is convenient, and I can do it fast. And it's me. It's not a scammer. So, just so that you know, my real Facebook is facebook.com/theprofessionalbum. Bye for now. Okay, question from Abdul Jabbar. By the way, any questions from the people watching? I see there's a bunch of people online right now, and so you have questions. If you have questions, go ahead. Just go ahead and ask them. Um, gonna darken my screen for a bit. Okay, Abdul Jabbar has a question. Binary, Forex, stock, penny stock. Which you prefer more for beginners? I think the best for beginners is binary. Why? Because the starting capital is small. You can get reward pretty high. But at the end of the day, it really depends on your risk profile. It depends on how much time you want to commit. Binary is high involvement. Forex is not so high involvement in terms of time. Um, in terms of binary, if you have more time, you make more money. Forex is more like investing. Binary is more like working. So that's the difference between the two. Okay, Sean Lee says we'll test out EA one day soon. Yeah, definitely do. And I know I'm speaking everything in a very broad way. And for any of you who come into my community, the Forex Learning Group, the Forex Lab, through any of my programs, or even the Binary Lab, and you wish to know about how to execute some of these things in detail, because today I spoke about many different aspects of testing. If you want to do it in more detail, depending on the stage you're at, feel free to send me a question inside of our private Telegram group, and I'll explain it to you more. And if you have any questions about the things I mentioned today or in general, feel free to comment as well, because I'm always looking for more ideas to make my videos, and I'm looking for more ideas on what I should address in my webinars so that they can be more helpful to people out there who are listening. EA means expert advisor. So that's is like a script where you set a bunch of functions and then you run this inside a Forex software like MetaTrader 4, and it can run automatically according to the rules that you set. So EA is basically like a list of trading rules. Like if this, then this. If this happens, then this. And if this, like what open trade, close trade, increase position, whatnot, all that depending on rules. So automated trading, EA typically means automated trading in Forex, although EA can sometimes also be like trade management. For example, inside my group also give out something called a Smart Exit EA, which is a trade management software that can use different indicators to help you exit your trades at the best time so that you don't have to sit by your computer all the time and monitor for the best time to exit. You can, I've created a very powerful EA that everyone can get for free. Once they come into my group, the Forex Learning Group, it's called the Smart Exit EA. You can exit based on like for RSI, stochastics, cross, Bollinger Band, different ways of exiting, trading stop, so many things you can exit. Can it be used on binary option? No, it cannot be used on binary option. Um, Having said that, a lot of people are asking me to figure out something called MT to IQ, something like that. So apparently there's a bridge that someone created that can bridge MT4 function into IQ. I have to spend more time to look at that. Uh, that I think you know well I should I haven't I honestly haven't spent time looking at that yet. I will get that done this week because well if that is done then maybe there is a way to bridge some automated trading or EA trading into binary option like IQ option is a broker that a lot of people use over here. One Pechanamuni. I cannot read Thai, unfortunately. If you could type that in English, that would be great. I'm not sure if I copy and paste this into Google Translate, maybe I may get locked out from this live. There any other questions from you guys who are listening in? All right. Okay, just want to tie up some loose ends. No, no, not bad network. Actually, my phone rebooted, but low battery rebooted. So yeah. So about your question, Frederick, the EA for binary has not been created yet, so that's a no. But I highly recommend that you look into my Martingale Master program. I think you may like that. I think it's just as long as you open an account with like 100 or more through one of my links, you can ask my Facebook admin about that. Um, Send a message to the Binary Lab page on Facebook, and my admin will guide you which brokers you can open with me to get free access to Martingale Master. For binary, I'm not sure when it's going to be out. Like I said, I have to look into it, got to develop it. It's going to take a couple of months at least. For Forex, it's already ready, but it's free for those who come into group of 1,000 or more. At the same time, for those who just want to get in touch with my automated trading through FX Primus or FX Team Invest, go to my EA link at the bottom of this video. I'm going to update the description afterward. I have a complete website page that's all about EA trading. You can understand more about the strategies that I use, and you can also like read about the minimum startups. For FXTM broker, I believe it's only 100 and above to get started, and then with FX Primus, it's 500 and above, and there's nothing for you to do. Just to link it up with my account, and there's nothing for you to do. It's totally managed by me. So basically, that's all for now. Before my phone conks out again, it is very low battery. I shall end this live video. And if you have any other questions, just send me a text anytime.